Hi folks, this is John Adamson, the rehab and documentation guru, sitting outside in this lovely spring day in Ashland, Virginia, which is the self-proclaimed center of the universe. And if you're from this area, you'll know what I'm talking about. Anyway, what I wanted to do is talk about something that I actually discussed with somebody at the course I went to today who had been to my course, and she had seen her coworkers document in ways that I had suggested that they'd not. And one of the phrases she said she saw often was the phrase slow and steady, and as it relates to progress, patients making slow and steady progress. So what I wanted to do was devote a video to that and talk about why that's not a good phrase. And so we're usually talking about in the setting, or I should say in relationship to what you're putting in your analysis, you might be saying slow and steady progress is being made, and why is that a bad thing to say? Number one, related to the words reasonable and necessary care. When you say that the patient's making slow progress, you are in effect downgrading the positive outcomes that you are making with your patient. You are saying that to the third-party payer, you're giving a lot of money, but you're not seeing much in the way of outcomes coming from that. It is much better to say, instead of saying slow, just give objective information to prove that they're making progress. Do not put qualifiers like fast, slow, no progress. Just give details about what's going on with the patient. Because one of the things we've got to remember is that Medicare auditors are human beings, and they are just as susceptible to advertising as you are. And when you say slow, you're sending a subliminal message that really there's not much in the way of progress going on in value for the money being spent. And we live in the day and age of value-based payment models. So avoid the word slow. Now, what's the problem with the word steady? Well, if the patient's making steady progress, it means that the progress is predictable. If the patient is predictable, it means that they are stable. You might be saying where I'm going with this. Stable patients generally don't need much in the way of skilled services. If you're familiar with the evaluative codes, the high, moderate, and low complexity evaluation codes, if the patient has a low evaluation complexity, meaning they probably don't need much therapy, in effect, they are likely stable in their clinical presentation. We do not want to send that as a message to the third-party payer, if we can help it. Sometimes patients are truly stable, they're predictable in their outcomes, which means limited frequency, intensity, and duration of care. What you want to do is send the third-party payer the message that the patient is not stable. If you're going to be keeping them on caseload for a while, they're either evolving or unstable in their clinical presentation. I'm not saying make things up. I'm not saying use those words without objective support, but if you have a patient that's more typical of the geriatric population, you likely do not have a patient that's highly stable, and so saying that the patient is making slow and steady progress indicates stability, and that's not something that you really want to get across to a third-party payer whom you're trying to justify more therapy to. Anyway, I hope you found this video helpful. Please like and subscribe. Please send me comments. I would love to hear feedback from you. And also, if you have suggestions about things that you would like me to cover on this channel, I would love that, because I want to know what you're facing that you have questions about to help you be guided to get paid for what you do. Anyway, this has been John Adamson, the Rehab and Documentation Guru. I'll talk to you later. God bless.